Hello, I'm Sofia, and I speak Chinese, Korean, Japanese, English, and I'm currently learning Spanish quite a long time for 4 years. And a lot of people ask me, how do you learn so many languages and what's the secret? This video I'm going to talk about it. Well, there is no magic pill. But I've found some principles that always work for me. So today I want to share my experience, not as a teacher, but as someone who just loves languages and keeps learning. The very first thing I ask myself or anyone who says I want to learn a new language, but it's too hard, the question that I ask is why? Why do you want to learn language? Why do you want to learn this language? Because motivation is the foundation. In psychology, they say change has pillars, and motivation and willingness come first. Without them, no method lasts. So there are usually two types of motivation. First one is practical. It's practical motivation. You need it. Maybe your job requires it. Maybe you'll miss a big opportunity if you don't learn, like a pay raise, a promotion, or a study abroad program. That urgency can be a strong push you to learn. The second motivation is just genuine interest. You don't need it for survival, but you are curious. You love the sound of the language, the culture, the stories. That is me. For me, languages are just beauty, Each time I learn a new one, I don't just add vocabularies. I literally see the words differently. And let's be honest, no AI can replace the genuine human connection that happens when you speak to someone in their own language. Once your motivation is clear, then we go to how. And here's the good news. The skill part is usually easier than the motivation part. For example, when someone comes to me for coaching or consulting, if it's just a question of resources or how to do it, I'll be like, great, we can figure this out. But if I find out from the beginning that their motivation level isn't strong enough to support what they want or support the change or the growth they want, oh boy, then we have a real work to do. That's when we need to really sit down together, dig deeper, and really articulate what is the true motivation behind it, why you want to do it. Because today we have endless resources, right? If you prefer offline courses, great, you can find one. Online apps and teachers everywhere. You have books, podcasts, YouTube, Bilibili videos, Red Note, you name it. And there are too many. But the trick is you need to find the method that fits you. If you learn best in the morning, study in the morning. If you are a night owl, learn at night. If you need a structured teacher, one-on-one, get one. If you prefer self-study, you love self-study with, videos, that's great. There's no single correct way. It's just a process of discovering your own rhythm. You're not competing with anyone else. So for me, personally, I spend between 1 to 3 hours a day practicing Spanish. That might sound intense, but language learning is really about time plus consistency. So instead of complaining, I'm too slow, try to embrace the journey. Progress is invisible at first. Then, one day you just realize you are really actually speaking the language. Now, what about the times when you feel tired or your motivation fades? My answer is go back to the beauty of languages. Because languages are not just tools. People say it's tools. Yeah, it's tools, but it's not just tools. It's literally the word. You're opening the real word or words. When I learn English, I notice how directness and clarity are valued and how my, gesture and my facial expression changes. You know what I mean? But when I learn Japanese, when I speak Japanese, I feel the nuance of humility and formality. おはようございます。ありがとうございます。And the respective way of speaking, お待たせしました。When I learn Spanish, I sense the warmth, the rhythm, and the passion, the emotional part of the Spanish. There's another gift of the language. Learning a language makes you humble because suddenly you are a beginner again. You make mistakes, you sound funny, and that's a good thing, right? Because it opens you up. You discover something you don't know. For me, that's exciting. So you realize the way I see the world is not the only way you opened up. So every language carries a culture, a history, even a mindset. You connect with someone in their language, even just a little, like con permiso, when you go, con permiso, and provecho, that humility, that openness, it changes not just how you speak, but how we live. So to sum up, start with why first, okay? Find your motivation. And the second is choose your how. Discover your method and your rhythm. You're not competing with any other person. This is not necessary. Remember the gift. Languages bring beauty, humility, and openness. That's how I've learned 5 languages, and I'm still learning every day. Italian, French, Portuguese are on my next list. Tell me in the comment, what's your why for learning a language, and what language are you learning right now?